over here, but the way that we lusting for women. Swimming around in my thoughts in the dark, cause there I'm comfortable living. I widen my peripheral vision and I'm looking for something fulfilling. I do not speak on my past, but baby, I tell you looking for something specific. I make a bitch submit to me, that masculine shit, I don't dig it. Fuck a feminist, I have a queen who can go out and get it.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about, since we finished our stuff early today as well, something I found called the gamma breath. So the first thing I want to talk about is frequency in the body. So our diaphragm is, I believe, our largest muscle in the body, if not one of the largest muscles in the body, and it's the primary muscle used for breathing. So our diaphragm is the reason why we're able to pull oxygen into our lungs. So the diaphragm really is just, it changes the amplitude of our body, or the amount of waves that can be produced in the brain. When we're talking about frequency, so what's the average bandwidth we can output when we think, when we feel, when we see? That's where we get in the breathing patterns, how the style of breathing actually changes the way you think and the capacity of what you think. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this shit with you, because basically every breath has its own brainwave. So if you're a
mouth breather,
you most likely have your brainwave situated at beta. So alertness and just attentiveness. So that's obviously inhale through the mouth, exhale through the mouth. Looking dumb. But I don't know where that stigma comes from. But anyways, on the other side, if you're a nose breather, which I feel like is most people, I'm a nose breather, your brain waves are mostly situated in the theta. So that's like deep meditative trance. There's a few things associated with each. That's why I have it popping up on the screen, because to me it's irrelevant for the moment. But it doesn't, none of them are good or bad. Because for example, because my brain waves are mostly situated at theta, yeah, I'm more of a chill person, but it's harder for me to focus with work and whatnot. Sometimes it's harder for me to just kind of be in my body. A lot of times I feel outside of my body. So there's a drawback with theta. With beta, if you're always attentive, the draw of that is that it's sometimes hard for you to fucking like relax. Like you always feel like, you know, your fight or flight's activated. And that's kind of goes into the posture with the psoas, where we have this deep-seated muscle in our body called the psoas, that basically is the muscle that connects our legs to our upper body. So in a sense, it's the muscle of the muscle of the soul. That's what it's normally referred to as. And I didn't hear anything about the psoas until recently. So that shit was crazy when I found out that basically our mindset is heavily influenced by the tightness of it. So the more elongated, or the more you stretch out your psoas muscle, the more like yourself you feel, the more free you feel. So I had this whole set of stretches that I did for the psoas, and god damn, when I did that shit, I felt good. Like it didn't feel weird walking, because also it affects your posture. So posture is affected by your psoas. Stress is affected by your psoas. Depression is affected by your psoas. There's so many things affected by it. But why the psoas connects so well with the breathing method is because in terms of the body, because I always try to take it back to seeing the body as the technology we just aren't sure how to use. The body without the technology without a manual. When it comes to that shit, the psoas muscle is like, it's like, you know how like old TVs, how they have the antennas on the top, and you have to angle it just the right way, or you have to like bang the TV to get the fucking static off. The psoas muscle is like that antenna for your body, where like you just gotta straighten it out, and you'll be able to get your downloads. You'll be able to get the insights that you keep hearing everybody talk about. It's a physiological thing. So that's when it clicked for me as I was researching. I was like, holy shit, this is what it means to let go. It's not some fucking philosophy. Like letting go is a physiological thing. It's the release of your psoas muscle. So the stretches, basically how the stretches work, or just the mechanics of it, is just that by consciously tensing that muscle, you finally learn how to relax it, because it has more space, it has more elasticity. Because for most of us, even things as simple as sitting tightens the psoas muscle. So because our culture, we have chairs and all sorts of stuff, we're always bent at 90-degree angles And that's why it's like angles like angels, like these rays of light. Energy does not fucking flow in angles. That's why it's shapes. That's why we're in this third dimension. Or it's like we're shapes, we're form. But everything moves in spirals. Things are projected in shapes, but move in spirals. The other two breathing patterns, which I don't know if people intuitively breathe like this, but we have inhale through the mouth and exhale through the nose. And we have inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. What was interesting was I found this breathing blueprint actually a year ago or so, watching a Zen Ottman video. And check him out. He's a pretty cool YouTuber. But he had a video called The Breathing Blueprint. And I thought it was so interesting because he was showing how like the breathing styles of our diaphragm correspond to nature, like the cycles of the seasons, the elements, and I believe a couple other things. But anyways, what was interesting was that with each brainwave, if you combine them in a certain rhythmic cycle, you get gamma waves. So, and why I made this video is because with gamma waves, your brain, specifically the pineal gland, when the pineal gland vibrates at gamma, or when the brain vibrates at the resonance of gamma, you secrete DMT out of the brain. The body is able to take in this huge amount of dimethyltryptamine. How do you induce this gamma state in the brain so that the body can take in DMT? Okay, so first, you want to do inhale through the mouth, exhale through the mouth. Then you want to do inhale through the mouth, exhale through the nose. After that, you're going to do inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And then finally, you do inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And you loop this. You loop this over and over. So it looks like this. And you loop that over and over and over. Damn, see, that first fucking round, so that shit feel good. Like, that's why I call it the illegal breath. I call it the illegal breath. You do basically the 4 frequencies in a cycle, the 4 rhythms of breathing, starting with the mouth breathing, then the inhale through the mouth, exhale through the nose, then the nose breathing, then the inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And I have a chart that's going to show you what this looks like. It's so simple. At first I was like, how am I going to memorize this shit? And then I just laid down one night. It was actually 2 nights ago. And I just did the breathing. And then I kind of got how it was easy to remember. There's a pattern in it. Because every exhale you do in the cycle kind of leads into the next inhale. So it actually isn't too hard to remember. And you only have to remember 4 types of breathing. That's it. 4 breaths, essentially. So, yeah, that's what I want to share with you today. I integrated it already into my routine where the hour before I go to work, I do 13 sets of this. But you can do it forever. You can do it as long as you want. If you want to train yourself to doing, because I kind of want to be on that shit, or like you train yourself to unconsciously breathe this way, where you're always in the gamma state, then there it is. That's that's your key. Now, gamma waves, you could say, is associated with Christ consciousness, or back to my old consciousness level models, like you would say this is the 5th/6th dimensional mode of thought. I would say more 6th dimensional, because it's easier for you to see and practice as you're walking around how everything is love and how everything's so easily connected. How could there be separation? So and it's crazy because you kind of experience this when you do the breathing. So it's really a matter of span of time. It's not even a matter of if you'll feel this or if you'll like feel the effects or anything like that. It's a matter of how many sets do you want to fucking do. So that's why I made it into my meditation now, where instead of just focusing on the breath, I just turn the breath into that gamma wave pattern, and I just repeat that over and over and over until I feel like stopping. And oh my god, I feel like if I sit down and just do it I might even make a video about that. If I just sit down for an hour and do it, I almost guarantee I'm gonna have like the experiences people have when they actually take DMT, when they smoke DMT, because it's just about generating enough of it in the brain. It's already sitting in your head. It's just dormant because your body isn't, it's not it's not outputting that resonance. So the pineal gland's just kind of like, I'm just gonna chill here until further notice. They say, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but they say that when you die, a large amount of DMT is released in the body. So that's why when people take DMT, like the actual drug, when they're smoking it, it feels like they're dying. And because to an extent, it is a death. Like, it's literally the death of the self. Like, selfless doesn't mean like you're charitable and all that. Selfless literally means without a self. There's no attachment to status, class, baggage, negative emotional patterns, any of that. So that's why I integrated the Psoas. So doing the Psoas stretches first, and then doing my gamma wave meditation. And that's going to be my routine every morning. Every morning or I do the Psoas stretches every morning, or really just when I get home, because I get off at 5, I get home at like 7:30 a.m. So at that point, I'm like, let me just go out and do the stretches. I do the stretches. You feel literally the trauma leaving your body. That's why you feel the shakes, because that's what's emphasized in the stretches. Holy shit, I'm already shaking. See, that's the psoas muscle right there. You want to let it shake. Oh my god. That's just doing it by itself. I think it's also called TRE exercises, TRE, tray stretches, something like that. But it's about releasing emotional trauma. And trauma just means an emotion that you can't express. So it doesn't have to be as dramatic as like getting molested by your like pastor uncle or some shit. It's literally any negative experience that like just surprised the fuck out of you when it happened, that you can't even articulate it when you're looking back at it. That's what trauma is. So I think my emphasis with shadow work and how this all works is that we shouldn't be hard on ourselves for the things we feel, because a lot of it's physiological. Most of the shit, it's like these small events we experienced as we were younger, and then, you know, we just forgot about it over time. We're like, we just refuse to keep looking back on it. But, you know, by doing that, it's the only thing on our mind. So it's really counterintuitive. So that's why like my philosophy is negation. Whatever I think won't work, I do it to see if it does work. So, I think that's all I got to talk about. It's funny because I actually thought about, like, you know, making a whole online lecture course thing, or just setting it up in this long ass way that was going to take forever. And I was just like, wait, fuck that. I have a YouTube channel. I'm just going to share with you what I'm doing now and what I'm learning now, instead of like bottling it all up and then releasing it as one big quote unquote perfect package. Like, that shit is so stupid. I was stressing out just over that. I was like, when should I show this? When should I release it? Or is this the right time? Nah, bruh. Because I know, like, from a week from now, I'm gonna find some other shit that's gonna actually contribute to what I'm talking about right now. So, yeah, I'm a seed planter. I just walk like a nomad. I just walk, I drift off, I walk, I spill a couple seeds. Walk, spill a couple seeds. Walk, spill a couple seeds. And that little pouch I keep on my hip don't never fucking run out. So yeah, I just ran in today, walking around in the rain. It's really nice. Stay abrasion.
Get it. Working hard but work smarter. Everything I do feel efficient. Counter-Strike and cursor works. So ride a nigga off and he finished. AK-47 nigga run up and I'll call that shit a global offensive. Disillusioned over here by the way that we lost in for women. Swimming around in my thoughts in the dark cause they're uncomfortable living. Calling me the comfortable villain. Calling me the comfortable villain.